struggled in map control in that last map up. Do you think that maybe that might also end up coming through in this one as well?
It could be. I think they'll be able to at least deal with that mid presence a little bit better. Certainly if they can continue the slow passiveness that we saw from them in that first map, try and see if they can just drive the Sharks further and deeper in towards the sites itself. And for 9Z, they will start up on that T side. A little bit of utility coming in for Bit. Fast play coming in from the bomb, and the majority of players towards his underpass position, looking to try and see if they can get some early mid control, but no one's really out from mid from the Sharks side.
9Z down through underpass on 3 individuals. Try is going to look up from that top mid control, hope for some sort of contact. Zevi is back on the USP as he looks over to the jungle control, looks out from Sniper's Nest, sees nothing. The T's make their way in from connector. J&T is going to be the central strike defender back at Dark. 4 players around him to try and hold off against the T side onslaught. And 2 kills coming from Max and Rox nice and quick. Reels in, makes his way downstairs in towards the underpass control. Gets try for a good response back for the CT side. But still a 2-for-1 trade that favors 9Z. And continuing on against Reels in leaves a 4-on-2 situation.
Just getting picked apart now. The rotation's up towards CT. Luke has got to try and clutch out a 1 versus 4. And 9Z, really nice splitting towards that A site. It's very calm. They're able to get some really nice entries and sort of slow down the pressure when it comes on those rotations, locking in that jungle control towards the top of Con. And Luca might just be trying to save onto this armor. Might get caught off from Max in towards the window position. But for 9Z, couldn't fault that pistol round at all. They lose a single player. They get the first round on the board.
Yeah, nice and efficient, nice and good. And again, a start out that 9Z would want to see from them. Got the pistol in the last map up, and they weren't quite able to convert it into a confident half of their own right. So that's the next step here for the 9Z team. Luca just left here in the short term, trying to begin defending against the oncoming onslaught of the 9Z campers. They try and hunt him down. He's doing a decent enough job of getting these kills, but in the pistol, it's not going to mean much of anything. Eventually, he does go falling, and 9Z take the pistol round. And Sharks, do they force the investment early? It seems like with Reels in buying the Deagle and Kevlar, that's the right call.
Yeah, get those rifles forward. Try and see if they can maybe farm up a little bit of cash here for the T side, for that, at least that single player from Rox. And one of the newest players joining up with the 9Z side, joining in January this year. A fast play coming out towards the mid control. And Sharks, are they going to just put everything into a gamble rotation towards the B side? They're playing no one on A.
That might be the right call because the lean up is into the apartments control. So the B site has 3 individuals to defend against it. It might even boost the player up towards their sub-box position, so they're going to take notice of all the angles they can work with. The HE from Reelsin is going to see what's coming though. Doesn't opt to use it, puts the smoke down and standing on the incendiary's part. Rox round that corner. Zebi going to fall first towards Max. Rox steals with Luca. Still going to play here towards Truck. Takes some damage, spams through, can't get Max. Exit actually finds himself 3 kills on a deagle elsewhere on the site. The trade is good. And JNT tries to pop forward of the wall, but doesn't get anything, any sort of kills and clutch situation. So 2 players alive for 9Z, but a very expensive round posted up by the Sharks.
Yeah, it's dicey, but they didn't crack under pressure at all. They continued their execution, saw some really good entry pass coming through from Rox in particular with that to Mach 10, but we saw the Deagles being able to do a lot of damage, but just not quite converting them into kills, seeing players working around those smokes in the apartments itself. A nice little triple came through, but not quite enough to win the round in favor. So 9Z do convert the anti-eco, meaning that going into round 3, this should be an absolute cleanup. Bit is only on a Deagle going into round 3. Maybe try and see if they can get him a rifle at some stage going into the next, but this should be a nice and easy round for the T side.
Yeah, Zevi next to 4. Mach 10 in and reels in, catches him off guard, so 2 standing, and Luca forced away from the Sniper's Nest jump face, gets that kill, leaves it all to exit in a 1-on-5 situation. The Deagle backed up into the A site on that default plant position. Expecting T-side players to move forward, and 9Z will be the into that connector position with that bomb, making its way in first. 1-on-5 for exit, of course, so they can push that bomb towards the B site if they wish to, but they're going to overwhelm him, take him down. Get this round for 9Z, 3-0 to the T-side board on the start, and now the Sharks have the rifle buy.
Get the full investments forward, get the AWP straight into Zevi. The T-side are even investing to an AWP on to try it. It looks to be a little bit of a pause as well, Jay. 9Z getting off to a fiery start so far, that 3-0. But time can change very, very quickly with Sharks, depending on which way this next rifle round is going to start off.
Yeah, again, we saw it in the early part of that last map up, so you're expecting the Sharks will be able to post up a fight, and again, if they are able to do so, and 9Z may end up losing the half pretty one-sided here. For the time being, they can relish in that 3-0 start, and again, just focus again against the AWP that the Sharks do have in play. I don't think 9Z will be opting to also invest into the big green gun here. I mean, they kept all 5 players alive, so play the bonus round, keep your money intact. Depends really what the call and the focus will be for the T side line. For the moment, it is pause time, so again, I'm imagining it's probably a tech pause coming in from one of the sides. We have had a couple of issues when it comes to connection, but hopefully it doesn't last too much longer here.
Yeah, we saw just before we went into these lovely cinematics, Jay, that there was an AWP upgrade coming through from Tri, so both teams investing into that main big green gun very, very early on. Something that, like, certainly even on the T side from Sharks to start off Inferno, we didn't see it come out from Zevi until about, like, round 9 or 10 or so. So good to see that it's coming out very early on to start off Mirage.
A bit weird, though, because 9Z, they're not going to fully force around it here. The Mac 10's still in for Bit, for example, which can do damage onto Exit if you can find him in the entry duel, but it's maxed out towards mid that deals with Exit very quickly. That spray comes through, and the first player falls at the CT side.
Yeah, not the best of flashes, unfortunately, there for Sharks. Like, Max was just not blinded at all. Player swings wide out from the bottom of Connector, hoping to catch off a blinded player towards top mid, and instead, it's a man advantage found, and now the split comes in towards the A side.
There's a shot of Zevi dealing with Rock's try, can respond back here for a 2-for-1. And one player down towards Dark. Is JNT going to give up an angle? Molotov's in towards the bomb plant position on the default angles. The AWP could face, as can the AK continue its spray. DGT giving up an opportunity, and JNT gets the double for it. Bit burns him to a 2v2, however. He has bought an opportunity for the Sharks side, and has tried missing his own warp shot. It's all left to Max. Now alone here, out towards stairs. The bomb in the open, facing the catch these CT players. Sees the head of the first man, but can't quite take him down.
Try and see if he can isolate this 1 versus 2. Now, he's got the time to play with, knows the info on where that first player is. Maybe try and see if he can reposition out towards the B side. But if he tries to go through that window room position, he's got to remember that maybe there's a player in CT anticipating that angle, just trying to wait out the time. He's waiting for a mistake, and it's just not coming.
Per the rotation, Realzin's going to hold himself towards the CT stairs, though. Max going to try and act and take this guy down. Going to go for the plant as both players start making their way away. They hear the plant now. They should know. Do they think it's the B side? Oh, they think it's the B side. That's going to waste crucial time. But as they check it, they realize quickly. So not much time wasted, but still a thought fight still here for Max's advantage. Takes the fight in on 1, wins it, but doesn't win out the second individual. Luca keeps it together for the Sharks side in that 1-on-2 scenario, but you could have imagined, had they continued pushing in towards that B site, then maybe that probably could have been time stalled there for the 9Z defender.
That was incredibly well played from Max in the 1 versus 2, being so versatile where he's just waiting for the play to come to him rather than him actually making it in that 1 versus 2. He slows the clock down, tries to play a few of the mind games. They even think that maybe he rotates out towards the B side, and as soon as that bomb gets planted, he hears them coming back because he heard that one footstep that you mentioned out in CT, trying to get aggressive in towards jungle, but can't quite deal with both players. The one big mistake that really, I think, affected 9Z the most was, how did JNT get 2 kills in Dark before he got traded? He should not have even been able to get any once they know he's originally there.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, those 2 kills turn the whole round to the favor of the CT side. They're at a 4-on-3, and maybe if you got the kill out in the open and couldn't quite get the kill towards the jungle area, then maybe there still would have been a 2v2 post-plant position for 9Z, maybe even a round victory itself. Think about the possibilities that one player just brought back for his team, and you wonder how they could have played it differently to regain control. For now, it is going to be an opening round for the Sharks, so buybacks will come through. Orbson as necessary, AKs across the T side bought, and SMG for Realzin as Zebi looks on, ready for first contact. Nades and Molly smokes down, and no face, no blind shot. The flashbang will come through, and Luca takes that face, gets that opening kill. Try, can trade it.
A nice opening trade comes through from 9Z to make sure that that short player doesn't just sneak back in to hold on to that opening pick. And DGT hasn't heard any of the information on the A players either. They've been very silent when they're starting to reposition on the site. no real eyes out from mid. Zevi playing passive from this short position means that while he's starting to hear some of the footsteps, they don't quite know too much of this information. And now the T side is starting to back up towards the top mid boxes. You can't really tell if they're going to go in for an A split or a B split because they've got a player out as alert from Palace over towards the B site as well. Now they might start to be regrouping into a split into B.
That's stacking up towards that mid position here. The player on the short control ready to receive that short presence, and Rox could also join his teammates if they want to go for a connector control to play. Smokes down, Orp ready, sees that first focuses, takes him down. Saw that second player as well, is going to continue swinging, see the utility and drop him the same. Two big frags now, turn back up towards the apartments. Realzin's going to focus fire on it, seeing that fire coming towards his way. If he goes down, that's where the Orp's going to have to concentrate, but the Orp of the short control is going to be the next main concern. That bomb has been dropped to CT favor, and 9Z are opting to back away here. I think they might be looking for a safe call. Perhaps. I mean, it's very confusing what they're going to go for. 10 seconds, though. They can't get this bomb down to the site. This is a round win for the Sharks.
And they can go hunting because that short player from Zevi is hearing so many footsteps out towards that short position and in from underpass. And now the time is going to start to be expired. Try and see if he can swing out, at least deal with that one T-side player. They get into ladder thinking that that's where they've been saving into, but instead it was out towards the underpass. Second round in from Sharks. 9Z, there was a lot of nothing happening on that T-side round. They got the top mid control, backed off, waited out sort of 30, 40 seconds or so, and it just allowed Zevi to maintain his position at that short control. And as soon as that smoke came through to buy them some cover from Connector, he swung out, dropped that bomb, ended up getting a multi-frag.
Tactical called in by 9Z, something we haven't seen all series long so far from these guys. And of course, there were issues over on Inferno, but you can sort of forgive it given the fact it was Sharks' map pick, but rounds like that are not the ones you should be losing. Yes, the AWP kills were fantastic and a great individual pop-off moment from the Sharks player that was there. But 9Z on their map pick need to find a way to turn this situation around and quickly here. And the AWP's in for Try and Zevi. Galil's in for DGT and a bit over on the T-side line. Some limitations on firepower as Try is the first player out of the gate, or at least he initially was. Another player that makes his way also into position. Orb's going to get run boosted up, and they see nothing of the CT presence in mid.
Much quicker this time around from 9Z out from mid, but what we've seen in terms of a counter initiative from Sharks is now getting some control out towards this ramp position. Crossfire being set, Zevi connects onto the lurker in towards the top of Connector to find the opening pick. The split into A is going to continue, however, for the Taze.
M4 doesn't quite catch that player, does take DGT down in the end, so secondary kill found. That AWP view of battle faced in from ZV, and he gets shut down by Try as he already had the angle on lock and gets that kill together for the T. A side burst through from Bit, catches a secondary kill and exits to a 3v3, and JNT watching ramp very, very concentrated at this stage. And she fall back off and try to see if he can face towards the A site itself, hearing that bomb plant being tapped once. And the second time we'll stick to hold the thing.
Bit's ready. Oh no! No, the timing is so awkward. 9Z had a couple of players crossfiring in towards that ramp position, and as soon as they turn away, that's when JNT is able to make his way out. But does he capitalize on anything? I think he may have just seen that one player out from jungle.
Ourselves some utility. Smokes down as well from the CT side, sprays through. JNT taking damage. They're on the bomb right now. Rox has no idea. He's got a secondary kill. They have no idea. Realzin's just going to hold down a position. And 9Z let another round slip out of their way. And TK's included in all as Sharks equalize 3-all.
So much chaos comes through on the site. We're seeing more counter utility. They get onto the bomb, and there must have been a miss of sound cue or a miss of communication because no one was even spamming the smoke, whether they thought that he was just going to tap it and get off, or they didn't even hear that bomb being diffused as any point at all with all that util and the bullets starting to rain through on the crossfires. Sharks get away with a 1 versus 3 ninja defuse, but they do lose the AWP to start off in round 7.
There's Max kicking things off fantastic on Zevi. 9Z trying to get their momentum right back to their favor, and those 2 kills all started. We saw how Sharks traded in that last round, fortunately for them. Tries also peeking up to hunt for his own kill in this AWP round. And now 2 left in Luca, and Realzin just left with the last couple of rifles to save in this one. No chance for the A side retake, and they know it.
Yeah, get out of there quickly. Zevi has had a couple of opportunities where he's gone aggro in from connector and hasn't really been punished so far from these last few rounds. So he tries to do it again and unfortunately pays the price for at least staying around for a little bit too long. And 9Z take back the lead over on that T side, and no one's going hunting here. You can understand it because there is like not a lot of money on this T side at all, but I would have thought that maybe they just throw in like one player at a hunt, try and see if they can deal some more damage to that CT economy, because Sharks are in a position where there are some players that are kind of on a bit of a double eco status, so this is going to have to be a force buy here from the CTs.
Seeming likely. We saw a very similar situation in the previous map as well. Now seeing the buy downs come through. Eventually they will bolster up their entire buy with a FAMA, an SMG, and a Deagle. I've got some weaponry in for the Shark side, and again, those two mainstay rifles are going to have to be the heavy lifters here in this CT round. 9Z currently in their standard default, plays in. The Sharks are passive as ever, no mid control initially. They did have Luca that was up there. He does fall back out from the short entrance. 9Z just getting information and baiting in utility.
More util they bait in the early rounds, the better it's going to be when that execution comes through. The bomb been left very deep in T-spawn, going to start to get re-picked up by Try, go back in towards this mid-default. The Sharks are playing a double con setup. They really need to try and see if they can utilize the weapon advantages over some of the weapons like that SMG and the Deagle to find the first contact.
60 seconds, the smokes go down. JNT with his SMG ready to receive. 3 players up, and no one's checked this corner. He could line them all up, doing so much damage to the second. Getting the kill on Bit. Luca can't trade it, so 2 for 1's out. Sharks of the AWP right close up towards them, and Try will also return to respond here, but Exit responds towards Rocks all the same. 3 on 2, GGT's on site. The FAMA being seen, getting it back to evens, and now the bomb can make its way up towards it. DGT gets a second, tapping through towards that third, can't quite find it. And Rilzen suspects it's going to be the fully blown A play. With DDT distracting, Try can get a bomb plant here from Apps towards B.
It's risky though, isn't it? Time incredibly low. Rilzen, if he could deal with this A play, he might start to rotate over towards B, and now the rotation's coming through in the 1 versus 1. Or is it? He's going in towards CT spawn.
Once again, Sharks picking the wrong side to head to. But surely he should realize that nobody's out here. He does. He takes a little bit longer this time, so about 15 seconds will be wasted on the rotations and trying to get back to the actual retake itself. The AWP in the back lines as well. Held towards the corner. Trying to keep his eyes on all entryways. He could be coming from any position. Rilzen's seen him. I think Try saw him as well. Jump face. AWP looking on. Missing its shot. Rilzen gets close. Smoke ready to go towards the bomb position. Flashbang over. Time's ticking. He faces. Sprays through. Does damage. Gets that kill together. It'll be a last second defuse coming through from Rilzen. I don't think he's got time for it. And yeah, he's a little bit too far away. Just a little bit too slow. So 9Z will take a 2-round lead.
Very well played there from Try to just not swing wide. Like when you think you're in a 1 versus 1 and you've baited out the rotate towards the A side, maybe you think, okay, this is my chance to get the round over and done with. I get aggressive in from market, try and take the duel immediately. No, instead he tries to kind of jump around, bait out as much time and just try and stay alive in that back quarter position. 9Z now stringing a couple together, looking to try and make it a 6th on the T side.
Can imagine this probably would end up working out for them as well. We have seen some great USP damage being coming through in the first map. I don't think Sharks will be capable of doing it right here in this context. Not as bottlenecky when it comes to the entries that these guys can take here. Very open space in the mid control, which is where the majority of players are at here. 3 facing from top mid of the T side. 3 totaling towards Connector, Sniper's Nest, and Ladder Room. 1 player does break away to get back to the B defense, so it's just as slow and quiet as ever here in the early round.
Now, no stack coming through into Sharks, which is a little bit intriguing. Normally when you see these USP rounds, they just like gamble stack all together towards the A side, or maybe they sort of sit in Connector or whatever it may be. Normally play very close quarters, but instead it's almost like it's a widespread default on this eco round.
And I've allowed a kill to come through as a result. No trade potential, I say that. And Luca actually drops rocks and by extension drops the bomb. Is Bit gonna check out Dark. JNT was probably a couple inches away from losing himself to that one. The Molotov in for try. And if that USP holds itself on passive positions, if they try and, I mean, they know that the bomb is out there.
Oh,
No! That's denied so perfectly. JNT baiting with 20 seconds left. Zevi trying to get out of dodge. JNT takes face, does damage, and Zevi can't quite do anything to deny, but maybe that's where Rilzin's chance to strike in towards Ram. Bomb plot open again. Chance to face, chance to deny. Oh, he escapes! Just the last second, the bomb plant will be secured, and a 2v2 retake has got to come in from those USPs. If that kill from Rilzin was secured at that moment, that would have denied the whole round for 9Z. Sharks doing everything here with these pistols. Now he's stuck up. DGT not ready for it, takes a ton of damage, just gets the frag together, and Zevi's still facing, but he loses his life to Max, and just about the round will come through for 9Z. But what expense posted up there by the CT side.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. They got so close to winning it. First of all, Dark does not get checked for some reason at all. Bit almost checked it. Then the bomb goes in, doesn't check it at all. It gets denied. And just one bullet away. If they would have got that instant headshot, that instant kill onto the bomb planner, that could have been round up. That could have been round over on a full USP round. Sharks get so close, but not close enough. Now it's a fast play coming through from Bit to get an entry out from short, and maybe a secondary kill from the bottom of Connector, but somehow the CTs have recovered it.
Yeah, Zevi well placed on towards Bit position, turns on the DGT as well towards Palace, 2 kills to his name, lands a third and all, back in for the quadrant, knows exactly where Rox is, and Zevi just does not miss a very quick round from the Sharks. 9Z tried to full send into the mid and ace sites, but that cost them everything in that round.
It's kind of awkward that they get an opening advantage but lose it so quickly. They have a great change of pace. It's so much more fiery, so much more accelerated in towards that mid default from Bit in particular. They get the entry towards a short position, and then there's a wide swing from the CT side in Connector, and then Zevi has such a sick hold up towards that stairs position with the AWP. One of the better moments that we've seen from him over the course of the series. And 9Z are going to take another tactical pause in this first half.
Again, they've struggled on their map pick. Yes, they're in the lead this time, but we saw how it was very early on the lead and them in the last map up, and still Sharks were able to take it and take the map out right in the end. So it's a slow grind back from this CT force to keep themselves under control, and 9Z realize they cannot afford to allow this to get too far out of dodge. They're up on a force buy. Mac 10's in on 2, Deagle for 1, 2 AKs up. Fast rush perhaps in towards the B side. That seems to be the case initially. Molotovs will try and deny it from the CT forces. Utility at the ready to try flash their way into this one. 2 players to receive it. Smokes will go down. They just wait for the execute to come through.
I'll probably see the arch smokes and maybe a market window one on straight at B Exy. Maybe try and go for a bit of a double pump. There is a lot of utility here, and then the arch smokes being lined up by Try. See if they could just bomb rush in towards the B site.
Smokes down on 3 separate positions, one side of Arch on the site itself, and of course, that window smoke coming through. Re-smoke back from the CT side, the force smoke to cover the other archway. Now leaves it all to the hit to come through. Molotov's in on 2 different positions. Rilzin gonna get caught in between both of them. Luca back at the site, Manic Spray hits most bullets into the wall, does get overwhelmed with a numbers game as both players fall. The Orp is Zevi still catching flicks, still getting kills together. They're giving up these frags, and now Exa can come through. Rox will trade it back with the Mac 10. The bomb's been dropped. Another player so close towards the Orp. It's all left to Max now in the corner. Zevi faces, and a slow face gives enough intimation to get the kill together. Shut down the round for Sharks again.
That was so aggressive, not only from the set piece, but while the bomb's not down, right? Rather than just sticking in the bomb plant, playing passive on the site, and just playing out the numbers game, they keep fighting forward. There's just numbers thrown aggressively in towards market to trade out the AWP, but Zevi holds his ground again, and with 9Z force buying in that last round, without a bomb plant, they're going to be in no money. They're going to have to eco going into round 12. We could be seeing a tied up scoreline.
Yeah, I mean, just these pistols out. I mean, maybe a bomb plant would be realistic for 9Z, but to win the round, I mean, to be fair, we did have USPs come through and do a ton of damage a couple of rounds ago, so you know what? I'll hold my breath on that respect, but even so, you can't realistically think this is going to be a round victory for the 9Z team. Man, they will get one frag back here on Rox's part. Try is going to be first to fall. J&T and Luke are getting a couple of kills on short on the site itself. Another player to fall in DGT to the AWP, and it's all left to Max here. Bomb in the open, 1 versus 4. And he falls all the same to the CT side. So yes, even standing, 6-all, 9Z back on the bye, and they need to shut it down now.
This is a very similar position, maybe not so much in terms of the scoreline, but how momentum shifted so quickly from Sharks in that first map. You know, it was a little bit back and forth, at least with the rounds being close, and then they just start decimating. They start getting a lead, they start building up this economy. 9Z have got to be able to chip back, and it might be another one of these aggressive A plays. Top mid smoke and window smoke coming in straight away. Look out from DGT towards Ramp, but he's by himself.
One me challenged by the CTs too aggressive. They did have one player up towards that ramp control. They put the smoke down very quickly and didn't allow any vision or contact from 9Z. They focus on the mid control instead. The 2 AKs, the third player playing away from the back of stack. CT defensive holds ladder room and nothing else in the mid control, and that's pretty fine so far. They've been able to go there when they need to, and it doesn't feel like 9Z take a lot of mid control late on into the rounds themselves. Do come through for a couple of split plays, but for the most part, even then, the Sharks are able to deal with it.
No contact peak has come out, though, from either side. AWP making a little bit of noise towards top of connector will be re-smoked off, so won't be able to get any vision into that mid-control. Maybe a B split here for 9Z to try and work with. I say that, and it looks like a stop call is coming in, but the minute marker's already passed, so we'll just have to kind of wait and see exactly what happens here.
You were the one who said they should play the whistle whenever they have these stop calls happening, because it might not even be officially counted.
Always play the round, yeah.
Yeah. Well, 30 seconds left, and it seems like 9Z want nothing to do with that. And Sharks will get gifted that 7th as a result, I believe. Again, we'll find out exactly what the call is in a moment. And for me, like, you know, again, I think I've made my opinion on this pretty prevalent so far. Like, no damage has been done in this round, so for them to have little map control and very little basis to work off, and for them to find a DC in that one, like, for me, I'm always aboard that life of rerunning the round, but that's not my call to make. Let's find out what's going to happen. But for now, it seems like we're going to be set for another quick tech pause. Bit of a shame, really, because like 9Z have, you know, they've held a pretty decent game. If it wasn't for these tech issues, like I feel like the momentum could be a bit more prevalent here in this match.
I don't know. I think that's a bit of an excuse if teams start saying things like that. One thing that we can say, at least, is that the start of Mirage, and at least getting into round 12, has been a lot more competitive from them. I thought that individually they've been looking a lot sharper coming through, but they just need to continue gathering more rounds. It's a little bit shell-shocking. Yes, maybe you can say that when the head-to-head came through, it was a little while ago, about 2 months, but still, when you 16-4 and 16-8 a team in a best-of-3 series and 2-0 them, you don't kind of expect to get sort of trounced on the first map and then be at 16-6 on the second. We probably expected 9Z to come in and have a lot more dominance than what they're actually showing.
Absolutely. Like, this is a much closer contest than that previous series, so the Sharks, I think they're the ones getting off the better for it as a result here. 9Z, of course, favourites in this series, expected to take the win. We had them down and take the 2-0, or I had them down to 2-0. You had 2-1 on the board, but again, I mentioned that possibility about the 2-0 coming in at the start of this map up, and I think that at this stage, it's a lot more likely than it seemed even at the start of the day, even prior to this map coming through. 9Z still haven't got themselves in gear here. Sharks up against a team that feels a little bit weakened in these defaults, and the executes might also suffer for them.
It does look like we are going to be getting back into the action, back into the whole meat of things, going into round 13. Or not. I've just been baited.
No. You've cast as cursed there. That's a straight cast.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah. I'll just walk away now.
You're doing that a lot lately, I've found. You know.
You reckon?
Yeah, like, you know, you've been saying a number of things on broadcasts that have just completely jinxed the players or the situation at hand.
But is it like an Uno reverse card where it's because you're here, it's actually happening, and not just me?
That's probably something I have to do a bit more research into. I'm not 100% certain. I don't think so, though. I mean,
it's just me. It's just me.
Yeah, it's just you. It's just you. Just you and your Aussie luck. 6-all to the board. AK is in for the 9Z side. Sharks with the AWP in for Zebi. Looking towards short control early on this one, but 9Z are going to go definitively in towards the apartment's control this time. Only one player to defend against them, put the incendiary down, but as soon as it clears, that seems to be set execution, and flashbangs go over, continuing to pour out utility from the T-side line. They see where Rilson is. Awkward's free from Rocks. Can't capitalize on that kill. Damage will be done, and CTs are quick to the trade. Rilson falls, but the AWP is here. Missing his second shot. Goes back in for a third chance and takes down Rocks for it. Tries forward and Luca getting involved. And Zebi is on a tear here. The AWP having so many massive plays for the Sharks side. And once again, they shut down 9Z.
Oh, it was a nice attempt from 9Z. They've got a lurker out from ramp that's selling utility, trying to pull the rotates over. That is what happened. There was only one anchor at that B site trying to play behind that van smoke. AWP flies through, and I don't know how he's not getting traded after that first kill. He's out in the open. There's two players staring at him, and he somehow still finds connections. More frags go his way. He is really stepping up. He has looked so impressive on this CT side of Mirage.
15 kills deep. And possibly more to come. Deagle's out for 9Z. It's JNT that will hold down presence here towards the site. Exit over towards the connected control. Takes two frags on his swing back. Deagle's coming forward. P2 the out here for Zebi does bail out his teammate and tap through with a nade back on try. And man, even on pistols, this guy's having a hell of a game. 8-6 Sharks have the CT half advantage. One final rifle buy for 9Z to make it close.
We knew that Zebi was quite the hot prospect when he was playing on that Daytona side. I had a lot of bit of international experience when it came to some of the America events, certainly in the last couple of years. Showing that he can deliver on this Shark side as well. 8-6 lead coming through from the CT side. 9Z are going to be able to buy back, but you've got to wonder that even the opening kill again, like Exit just gets flashed in towards Con Peaks with it. They're playing with so much confidence.
Straight shut down that mid control. The players that are up here now trying to play a bit more passively, slowly facing together. Got to keep one player back in the back lines to grab that bomb and make his way into the site execution itself. Molotovs will try force angles off the CTs. Don't need to re-aggress towards the mid-control, though. They're backed up passive, waiting for the T-side players to make their way into connector. Apps or Sniper's Nest. Apps of Zebi might be that next facing individual. He'll look and try and get a bit more of an advanced angle, but doesn't quite catch the player back on the stairs.
Oh, doesn't take the shot either. Stays around, or does he? Gets out of that window position. Doesn't want anything to do about it. Will re-peek back in. Only land a tag, but oh, there's a TK in the mix.
That tag assists everything for Zebi. He gets his kill in the end. Now the AWP try is in a 1v5. No damage done to any CT player, and it will stay that way to close the half with confidence for Sharks as we head to a break.
Everything I do is not enough for you. Everything I do, I'm the toy you toy with every single day. Another wild plaything in your little game. I've got this list of things that you need me to do. It's just an errand for a fool, yeah. Don't say nothing you'll regret. I'm saying something. Everything I do is not enough for you. Everything I do is not enough. Gonna get a ticket, gonna take a ride. Gotta get a look at the other side. I know I just gotta get away from you. 'Cause everything I do is not enough for you. Come on. Take it down. Everything I do is not enough for you. Everything I do is not enough. Gonna get a ticket, gonna take a ride. Gotta get a look at the other side. everything. Follow me down to the death. I don't know what's coming next. I'm on my feet and here I stand. I had a hunch and no one cares. I have a body in my head to spool down. Heaven for myself. In front of you, I look into your eyes and I know you hesitate. You don't know if it's fake or true. I'll be blue for you. I don't think that I should. No more regrets. I'm gonna do my best. Blue for you. I don't think that I should. No more regrets. I'm gonna do my best. Blue for you. I don't think that I should.
Well, led by Zevi into the second half. Sharks are up by 3 rounds and he's up by 19 kills. And great performances from Luca and Exit all the same, going positive at this stage. And for the Sharks side, they are out-fragging the 9Z team by quite a margin. This 2-0 is looking a little bit more likely at this stage, Dwayne, and with the T-side half now coming into fruition, 9Z got to put in the hard yards. They want to try and take their map pick back.
Yeah, it's looking to be a likely conclusion. Market window smoke, I should say, being lined up towards the T side. Flashed over the top to dive in towards that B side. But look at how quickly the rotations are Bryn here. They've already brought 3 CTs over.
TGT peeking up, giving up his life as a result of Zevi's manic fire down towards the gap in the fence. Luca does catch off Max for 4 versus 3. USP of Rocks peeks in, gets it to 3v3 just as the bomb goes down. It will be retake mode now for 9Z, and all 3 individuals coming in for Market seen there by the T-side forces. They will get bit. Now Luca's got to face it against the other 2 facing back. Sees that play and makes his way to Brucey, and that's JNT that catches him off as they continue to extend towards that bench area. Rocks facing round, gets that headshot one-on-one. Bomb in the open. Does he have any idea where JNT is? He does now. Facing close to JNT, shuts it down. Getting that 10th for the Sharks.
Nice pace coming in from Sharks in towards that B side, and that's one way to really sort of put your foot down, is that you start off your second half on the T side and you just run in towards that B side. They fly out, and 9Z, they didn't play that poorly at all. They had a really good read on the situation. They had 3 players on rotation already in the B side, but it still wasn't enough to hold on. Good crossfire gets set out between the apartments and from the bench position. Tries to be able to start off the force by well, however, from the CTs.
Trade is found quickly by Rilzin, though, straight out towards that mid position. In the midst of the smoke, he falls, and the scout does get recovered by Rocks. Have that rifle to work with. Again, a great start from Troy, but with him going down, it basically puts Sharks back in the driver's seat. They still have the automatic weapons, of which there's only 1 for the 9Z side. That SMG on Max, aggressing towards the ramp controllers. Meanwhile, bit with his CZ. Technically an automatic weapon. I don't think I counted, though. Jump facing to try and receive the T-side contact. He's seen a couple players. Great nade in, flashback to try to blind them off. He gets back passive so his teammate can get to position. Galil seeing what's going on. The CZ tries to hold off on the defense, bursting up and not getting anything. That scout shot's pretty good for Rocks. Landing directly to the head and doubles up on towards JNT and all. Exit gets those 2 frags to return, but Rocks shuts down Rilzin. So it's all left to Exit in a 1-on-2 now. And 9Z have done a really good job to hold down this B side.
Anticipating a bit of a backstab, but it's actually just Max swinging out wide, not peeking on his teammate's contact of Rocks. And Exit knows exactly where he is, slow peeking in, ends up wide swinging to get the 1 versus 2 together. Nicely done from the Sharks. This is 2 rounds in a row now that really they've had to rely on the clutch ability. A 1 versus 1 in the pistol and a 1 versus 2 coming out in the anti-eco conversion. 9Z, after Rocks did so much with that scout, a couple of great shots in from Market, they just can't hold off.
And what felt like it could have been a fantastic return for 9Z to shut down Sharks before they got to the double digits and spiraling out of control has been taken right back by the T-side line. Again, it could have been so good, like you mentioned, but not going to work out for them. Stacking towards mid, Mac 10's in for the T-side to go out the cash, but only 1 kill coming through for Rilzin. Zevi's got to try and see if he can clean house, pad his stats a little bit further, not like he needs it. The HE from Exit, however, will still look up into the kills. And Try does get an extra frag of his own, right, but doesn't want to last long here. That P250 should be able to recover the AK. Actually, no, just past the Mac 10 as JNT steals the AK back for his own right. But not mattering too much. They keep those AKs in play. That's the main concern for Sharks. 12-6 to the board. And the rebuy comes in. 9Z with the AWP out early.
You can really feel that Sharks are getting closer and closer to victory here. While we haven't seen a rifle round as of yet in this second half, they've already been able to dominate and get themselves into a very good lead position. Are they just going to rush in towards this B side? They are slowing down eventually, but there's only one player here as Bit.
That M4 held towards the corner, looking into the windows. The flashes go over, and the Sharks make their way in. Luca tagged up, 36-35, 29 burning a bit, but Exit gets that kills. Every follows suit. Bit can take Zebby back at the very least, but now the match will bear down upon him. Exit commits suicide. Rilson gets a Molotov kill, and now he's the last player left here against two individuals. CT seen at the edge of the smoke. He takes that frag, but once again left to clutch it here. Flashbang to grab that bomb and rotate away from Apps.
Low HP, not taking any damage, diving down into the underpass position, and now it's the mind games. He's got so much money and so much time and so much utility to work with that flash and molly that he can start to fake it out towards the B side, keep drawing over towards A. Now, Max doesn't have a kit in play, but the massive HP advantage is a big favorite in this kind of position. Down to 50 seconds now on the clock, and is he going to commit to B through short now?
Max's back is turned, but if he's going to rotate towards A, he's going to come right through to this position. Footsteps in! The spray is good, but not good enough for Rilson. Max maintains the round for 9Z, and a great lockout defensive. A couple of mistakes being made there by the Sharks. And 9Z will capitalize to take their first to the CT side.
That was a really nice hold from Bit over at the B side. Like, he tried to stay alive for as long as possible. He was getting mollied, he was getting flashed, he was getting pretty much the whole bucket of utility, and he still managed to do some damage. Don't tell me they're going to do it again. We have seen so many of these B side X's in from Sharks, and there's two players here now at the B side this time around.
Nades up doing damage, smokes down and stop any sort of aggression. Bit will be ready with the SMG, spray through against Rilson. He will be able to take down the kill with the MAC-10. Backup has arrived real quick, and it does not see any more contact. Sharks initially indicating they weren't going to go fast out B, draw some attention away from the A bomb site. There's no one directly defending it, just that one player in connector, and that's about it. And they're going to go for the A play.
That was a nice start to at least get the advantage and then realize, okay, with this much utility coming back and probably rotations underway, let's start to make a bit of a play ourselves. Now, Max is starting to aggress up towards his top mid position. So if this slow passiveness continues for Sharks rather than just getting the execution over and done with, he could be in getting behind them because they're starting to clear out underpass. This is a lot of information being gathered from 9Z.
And now as they clear out the Apps control, the set piece will come through. The CTs will be a little bit quicker to the response. Resmoke down from Max will buy a bit more breathing room for the C side. It also disables any chance for the CTs to count, for the T side to counteract them. But Rock's moving in, shut down by JNT on the backstab, reading it like a book. And now 3 remain. 1 boosting from Connector sees nothing above that smoke, and they opt to back off and save their weapons.
Nicely done from Sharks, and it was good timing. I thought that 9Z were able to get some very good information. You just kind of mentioned it there, Jay, that they were going to try and beat them towards the A side. That was the case, that they got there in time for the rotations, but they're stuck behind all the smokes. It's a full site XE to come in from Sharks, and 9Z just kind of have to play around it. They're hoping that the backstab out from ramp is going to find some success, but as soon as JNT is able to find that kill to find a 5-on-3, it's just an instant save call. Even trying to go hunting onto the saving CTs, but it doesn't quite happen. Rilson doesn't quite drop any more players, but it's 13 on the board for Sharks. And 9Z, well, they're going to have to buy back here, knowing how many players they saved in.
The main focus for them is going to be that scoreline, which now makes its way up to 13. So back at 9Z's one good round, it means that the reinvestment it's going to look like a very awkward situation with the lack of money that might be in play. It's underpass control for Reals and expecting CTs to aggress here, but no such presence will be seen. It's very carefully placed from the CT forces. The same could also be said about Sharks. At minute and 25 as they try and to take that mid control, driving the CTs back away from Connector.
Yeah, very silent from Rox, trying to see if he can maybe start to pincer in, get quite aggressive. 2 players trying to swing out from Con. They have been able to deal with that first player. Do they want to continue swinging? They're setting themselves up like they want to.
All 2 players in. X is going to see what's going on. Can only get out 1 frag. Rox is traded back by Lucas. So a 3-on-3 situation. A little bit awkward there from the T side to maintain that control, and Max will deal with one more player out of Palace. Another player on short could also be a concern. Damage done towards Max. He should end up falling, but HG is good enough. Taps through, but couldn't find DGT. Good efforts there from the Sharks, but just a little bit too little. And 9Z will claim 8.
Creating a lot of chaos from the city side out from Connector. They swing wide to get that first pick, and you kind of, most teams would often just fall back, try and play the man advantage, but instead, they're almost sitting in the bottom of con like they're hungry for a little bit more. So much crossfire is starting to come in that eventually, that once the T side are able to trade out evenly, there's just more players starting to get in action. DGT doing a lot of damage, and maybe another play towards the A side this time around from Sharks. Rox is taking a lot of early damage though.
Damage might come in to do some the number on the CT side. Max tries to hold on towards the site, and his lonesome try gets here, but gets shut down the same, and a nice confident execute will be secured by the Shark side. 4-on-2. And for 9Z, you know, getting these rounds and being shut down immediately after the fact, that's not going to aid them. They need some decency, several rounds in a row to try and bring this one back, because the war of attrition will favor the Shark side.
They can't keep saving. Like, it's one of those statements that you can kind of have a bit of a question mark on when someone says it. But yeah, 2v4, you're going to want to save. Like, you're not going to know that's possible, and the realistic chance of actually winning that round is so slim. But they keep saving. They keep running out of rounds. That's the bottom line here. 14 on the board now coming through from the Shark side, and for 9Z, there's just no money. They might have to force. It's a tough call to make. It's a very, very tough call to make. The loss bonus is up to, what, 1,900, so they'll get 2,400 in the next round. I really don't want to see a force, but I have a feeling we will.
And it doesn't seem like we will, actually. So, you're right.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, I like it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that front. I'd like not to see the force up in this context. 9Z we're kind of needing the money to go into the overtime with, but that also does mean that we have to potentially be looking at an overtime here. I mean, unless this AK of DGT can do some serious work. He's out here towards Shogun Hunt for the opening, killing us the AWP and the AK. Oh, it gets legged down to 22. It's not ideal for him, but yeah, again, we're looking at possibly a 15-8. 7 map points for the Sharks here. 9Z could lose their map pick, and that would be pretty disastrous, I want to say.
It wouldn't be the best of starts into DreamHack Open, would it? To be able to get 2-0'd by Sharks after seeing what they've been able to do in recent history. Rox, one of the only other players that have got a bit of armor. Oh, that nade comes through. Now no one's have the AK.
It's dropped so far away from any CT member, so they can't pick it back up. Unless they want to re-aggress through here towards the short control. Max has been seen, the wallbang connecting, not doing the damage. JNT will get that kill. And now the SMG and USPs are all that remain. They do find one frag with the USP of Rox, but quickly responded to now. Try left alone here towards the back of the site. Also falling, Bit 1-on-4. And he knows it's best to hold on to the head. Kevlar above all else here. Might get caught off towards Murder Hole regardless. Did he see Luca? He might have just done. I don't think he does, actually. This is very weird from him. Either way, they know where he is. They're going to bomb plump down. This is going to be around for Sharks regardless of what happens from here.
Everyone can go hunting here for the T side. They know how important it is to at least take everything out of play. Bits try to look between two different positions, ends up over-aggressing towards Market. Zevi gets his 24th kill. And while on this T side, he hasn't seemed like he's been the star that we saw from him on the City side. He's been showing up so much consistency, even when he doesn't have the AWP in play. And for Sharks, they're one round away from going further into the upper bracket, Jay.
To think about that, 2-0 above 9Z, despite 9Z's favoritism and the previous results that they had that were so dominant above the Sharks side. But here we are. Smokes down, AKs up against the M4s and the 2 AUGs for Bit and Rox. Slow peeks and prods in from the A case as appropriate. J&T looking back to the back lines, does not see anybody as CT forces. Zevi snuck his way in from connector though. Max has been seen, takes that fight, wins the opening duel. Chance to trade, swing out from the Palace control as well, gets shut down by Rox. Now Zevi does alone, will stay side defense. Sees two, only gets one frag.
That bomb has still been leaning over towards the B site though, so this is all just going to be a bit of a ruse. Try and see if they can pull the rotations out. Now the short play should start to hear these footsteps. That's bad. His attention starts getting pulled over, but the AWP gets the entry. Now the site's open and it's in a 2v2.
Plant open for sure. They know they've got that angle on lock, and the AWP going to continue facing. Smoke to the left, CTs to the right. And here he is, stuck in the middle with you. Two CTs to find here in the market control, and Luca is desperate to catch one out of the market entrance. Try might get up the angle. There's no defuse kit, but DGT gets closer, and a double up comes through for the AWP. A triple around against Try, bursts through, finds that edge shot one-on-one. No kit, no health, no time. Taps it, forces the peak, reels in now. AWP pick back up, scope in, sticking the whole thing. Shoulder bay, taps and taps, but he's run out of time at this stage. It's out of the round. It's over. No matter what he does, he can get the kill all he wants. He can try his best. But this will be 16-8 for the Sharks as they take the series 2-0 above 9Z.